Big Bang Project.
January, Universal Century, year 0079. The space colonies of Side 3, declaring themselves the Duchy of Xeon, launched a war of independence against the Federated Union of Earth. At the same time, the Xeon forces undertook Operation British, an attempt to drop a space colony onto Earth. Target, Jabrau Base, headquarters of Earth's federal forces in South America. However, after the colony entered the atmosphere, it was destroyed over the Arabian Peninsula. The largest remaining piece of the colony hurtled toward Earth and struck Sydney, Australia, instantly transforming the city into a huge gulf. The Duchy of Xeon, based on space colonies, didn't have the raw materials needed to fight an extended war. With the failure of Operation British, a war was now inevitable, so they embarked on a plan to land on the Earth to secure the materials it needed. With blitzkrieg speed, they seized 2/3 of the Earth's surface. Even Australia, which bore the worst scar of the Operation British disaster, fell under Xeon attack for its natural resources. The Federal Forces Division in Australia, already badly battered by the disaster, could do nothing to repel them. It's been 11 months since the war began. The Earth's Federal Forces counteroffensive in Europe, Operation Odessa, has been a total success. Across the Earth's surface, the military balance is swinging heavily to the Federal Forces' side, and across the globe, one counteroffensive after another has been successfully launched. And in Australia, which took the brunt of Operation British's damage, a counterattack against the Xeon forces has just begun to unfold as well.
Light Jingos, you have an emergency mission. As I'm sure you know, the revised counterattack plan against the Xeon forces we've decided on consists of a simultaneous attack on the Darwin region in the north, the city of Adelaide in the south, and Alice Springs in the central region. The invasion of Alice Springs in the central region is what we're calling the signal to begin the operation. Our aim is to not only cut the enemy's rail lines, but to also deliver a decisive blow and weaken the strength of all their forces around the world. Currently, our primary corps, better known as Red Possum, is doing its utmost to engage them. However, a problem has recently cropped up in Rainbow Valley. Our reconnaissance forces have confirmed that the enemy's defense line has more anti-air and ground emplacements than we had first anticipated. Unfortunately, it looks like the enemy somehow found out how we'd begin our counterattack. For the rest of the operation to work, we must avoid exhausting all of Red Possum's strength here. However, their advance mustn't be slowed either. That's why we're going to insert you white dingoes into Rainbow Valley by air. Your presence is essential if we're going to stand a fighting chance against these fearless marauders. Your top priority is to neutralize those enemy ground and anti-air emplacements. Make sure Red Possum's advance is swift and successful. Due to the mission's timing, a tank battalion headed toward the front will arrive in the battle zone during your mission. We've been waiting for this opportunity for too long now. The future of the Federation is in your hands. You people are the best ones for this job. I expect to see you complete it quickly and decisively.
Lieutenant, we're about to move out. Get a final. Before we do, let's get a final confirmation on our mission code names for everyone. Lieutenant Rayer, the mobile suit you're in is designated Fang 1. Leon's unit is Fang 2. Mike's unit is Fang 3. My hover truck has been designated as Oasis. Please remember that.
Fang 2, Leon. Roger that.
Fang 3, Mike here, Roger. So then, Anita's codename is gonna be Oasis. Kinda ironic, isn't it?
Hey, wait! What's that supposed to mean?
Hey, just kidding. It's a very appropriate name for our dear Anita. The lovely flower of the battlefield.
You better watch your back out on that battlefield.
I'm so scared.
Would you guys please knock it off with all that chatter? Lieutenant, can't you say something to them?
It's almost time to go. I'm here trying to get the mobile suit ready to move out for the operation. So if you got any suggestions, just let me know, all right? All right, now that you've finished equipping your suit, you're all ready to get out there and face your next sortie.
Dingoes, we're at the drop point now. All set? Hatch open. Good luck, guys.
All units confirmed down. No problems. not picking up any large-scale movement in the enemy area. It seems like we may have caught them off guard. A meteor shower. Remnants of the colony drop.
Maybe they're the souls of all those that were killed in the drop, drawn back by the Earth's gravity. Wow, what an incredible sight to behold.
Mike, you sound like a poet.
Don't make fun of what I said. I'm totally serious. This land here is charged with the power of hatred for the Zeon. I can feel it in my bones, too.
Power from the dead, is that what you're talking about? You mean the Zeon woke up a sleeping lion, don't you? Except we're dingoes, not lions. Dingoes are dogs. Don't you remember? Lieutenant, let's get started, immediately.
Yeah, I'll show those Zeeks just how much power I got.
Fang 3. Enthusiasm's good, but don't let it get in the way of teamwork. Fang 1, I'll be waiting for your instructions. This is Oasis. Lieutenant, let's start off right by taking out those annoying anti-air and ground emplacements.
This is Fang 3. The scenery here is so beautiful, there's no room for ugly armor like mine, but I need it for battles.
Fang 2, roger.
Fang 3, roger that!
Oasis here, roger that. Oasis to Fang 1. I'm picking up a contact signal from a civilian building. Checking it out. Fang 1, don't get so far ahead of us.
Like Jingos, you have an emergency mission. As I'm sure you know, the revised counterattack plan against the Zeon forces we've decided on consists of a simultaneous attack on the Darwin region in the north, the city of Adelaide in the south, the invasion of Alice.
Lieutenant. This is Oasis. Lieutenant, let's start off right by taking out those annoying anti-air and ground emplacements.
This is Fang 3. The scenery here is so beautiful, there's no room for ugly armor like mine. I need it for battles. Fang 3, roger that!
Oasis here, roger that. Oasis to Fang 1. I'm picking up a contact signal from a civilian building. Checking it out.
Stop buzzing around.
Lieutenant! The enemy's been completely destroyed. Looks like we won.
This mission turned out to be a piece of cake for guys as good as us.
There were too few of them for a properly deployed defense line. Something's fishy here.
What do you mean, Leon? This was all some big feint on the enemy's part? I think you're overthinking things.
Good job on the last mission. The White Dingoes should be proud. Sorry, it's a little soon, but here's your next one. The White Dingoes will now commence entering the occupied city of Alice Springs and reconnaissance for the main Red Possum Force. You will then initiate attack on the enemy troops. When you do, your top priority will be to destroy the pillbox clusters in the hills to the north and south of the city, which are the biggest obstacles that the main force will face when entering there. Since this city is located in the central region of the continent, it was fortunately protected from the worst of the colony drop disaster, meaning there are many civilians still there. Take the utmost care and precaution while in the area so as not to endanger them. This especially applies to the water tanks, which are the lifelines for the city and the surrounding area. If they're destroyed, even if we manage to take the city from the Zeon, it'll make supporting it afterwards very difficult. Exercise extreme caution on this one. I wish you all the best of luck in this battle.
I have some intel for you. According to the information I got from the Wombat Resistance Group that we encountered on our last mission, Xeon transport trains will move through Alice Springs within the next few days. They don't have any details as of yet, but there's a distinct possibility that they're transporting something very important.
There is a chance that we may run into one of these trains during the battle. I wonder what they've got inside it.
Rumor has it that as the Xeon forces began to show signs of defeat, they started loading up their resources and are secretly transporting them somewhere out into space. These ships may be part of that plan if my sources are not mistaken. They may even be carrying some sort of vital resource for all we know. Lieutenant, I think we should consider stopping those trains that we happen to run across if we're going to see this through. Don't you think so?
Well, we can cross that bridge when we get to it. After all, the trains may not even show up during our mission.
You really are irresponsible, aren't you? However, there's still the possibility that those trains won't even show up. So why don't we stick to headquarters' original plan and concentrate our efforts on destroying those pillboxes and breaking through?
Hey there, Lieutenant Raya. Well, what do you know? We're finally on our way. I guess the brass just doesn't understand how long it takes to do maintenance on these things while we're on the front lines. Well, as long as you leave it to me, I'd be sure to have it ready to go no matter how little time they give us. That's one thing you don't have to worry about. GM cannon. Here it is. Here it is. The GM. Here it is. The RGM 79 GM. The GM cannon. GM cannon. So you take. Oh. This is the basic weapon. So you're taking this one. Oh, changed your mind? This is the basic weapon for land war use. One shot doesn't pack much of a punch. This is the basic weapon. All right, now that you've finished equipping your suit, you're all ready to get out there and face your next sortie.
Lieutenant Rayer, I'm convinced that the last battle we were engaged in was just a delaying tactic on our enemy's part. When you stop and think about it, this mission they gave us is pretty darn reckless. Sending in a force as small as ours before the main attack force arrives is far too dangerous. Then again, if it turns out that the enemy's strength becomes divided because they're trying to buy themselves time for some reason, then what we're doing may be coming as a surprise to them and work after all. I think that finding out why the enemy's trying to delay us will have a greater benefit to our future missions. That's the reason why I think the commander ordered us to go on such a risky mission in the first place. He's counting on our abilities. Anyway, we should be extremely cautious when carrying out this operation.
Hey, Lieutenant Rayer! Lieutenant Rayer! Lieutenant Rayer! Were you listening to the radio just now? Jacqueline, that sweet battlefield flower was coming in loud and clear. I recorded her last transmission. Take a listen.
Hi there, all you brave Federation soldiers listening out there. Are you all okay? Your Jackie's doing great, thanks in large part to all of your brave efforts. Now then, as you all probably know by now, the Federation has finally begun its long-awaited battle for justice and liberty here in Australia as well. even heard from very reliable sources that they scored early victories in many places soon after the opening salvos against the Zeon forces. Still, if you were going to do this, I wish you'd start a little sooner. Is it wrong to be selfish like that? Sorry, guys. Anyway, keep up the good work. Jackie's rooting for you here. And now, our next song is...
Whew! She's really got great stuff, don't you think? I love Jacqueline's show. I'll tape the next one for you too, if you want. Oh yeah, by the way, Lieutenant, if you could, don't mention any of this to Anita. She sort of considers Jacqueline her personal enemy, if you can believe that. Man, I wish she'd just lighten up.
Lieutenant, like Commander Stanley informed us, there are many civilians still in the Alice Springs metropolitan area. I think a lot of them stayed in the center of the city because the Zeon valued the civilians who worked in the occupation base and let them live safely in exchange for their full cooperation. I think it's best if we avoid the center of the city so we can minimize any damage we do. We can then liberate the entire area after the outlying areas have been secured and disarmed.
And if we do any fighting in the city center, we have to be careful not to frag any water tanks, right? Okay, got it.
Man, with everything else we have to worry about, now we have to concern ourselves with that too? Okay, should we try crashing this tea party?
Fang 1, requesting orders from you.
Fang 2, roger.
This is Oasis. I'm proceeding as per HQ's plan, and I'm presently searching for the enemy. Since I expect sound tracking will be hard in a city spread out like this, I'm going to hold my position here for a bit. Requesting assistance.
Fang 3, roger that.
far ahead of us! This is Oasis. Have completed the search. That's strange. We expected this to be a reinforced area, but there are hardly any defenders around. Anyway, I'm transferring this data to Red Possum as soon as possible. This is Oasis. Bank 3, take special care to avoid firing on the civilians in the area.
Why are you singling me out for that?
Because you're the least dependable guy here.
Roger.
Bank 3, roger that.
Bank 2, enemy mobile suit destroyed. Looking good.
This is Bang 2. Target successfully destroyed. I'll stay on the lookout for any enemies in the area. Bang 2, roger.
mission sonar sweep of the area. Continuing the search.
Fang 2, roger.
Fang 3, roger that.
Noise on the railroad tracks. A train's coming this way.
At this rate, I wonder if any enemies will be left when the main force arrives. Coming in for a close encounter, huh? Fang 3, roger that.
Lieutenant, I confirmed that a train came into the battle area. This is Oasis. Have completed mission sonar sweep of the area. Continuing the search. Fang 2, you're taking a lot of damage. Be careful.
I know that. I can still do this.
damage from the enemy. I'll transfer to you.
This is Lieutenant J.G. Vish Donahue, Zeon Forces Commandant for this city. Vish. Going to go Wild Thunder? I have a proposal for the Federation officer in charge. We have no desire to fight a hopeless battle any longer. As I'm sure you know, there are many civilians living here in the Alice Springs metropolitan area. From our point of view, fighting a battle here would be a tragedy that would undoubtedly benefit neither side. We hope you can see our position.
Therefore, we are now prepared to leave the city and hand it over to you. Our conditions are that we must be able to pull out without incident. Rest assured, until we are out of here and have established ourselves in neutral territory, we will not attack you in any way. Of course, if you attack us, we will have no further choice but to respond accordingly. I believe you would prefer to settle this situation in a peaceful and fair manner, as I've just laid out for you.
Got it all planned, hasn't it?
What? You mean to tell me they didn't want to fight us in the first place?
When you think about the damage we might do to the city, these conditions really don't sound that bad. What should we do, Lieutenant? Lieutenant, I confirm that the remaining enemy forces are definitely retreating from the battle zone. The battle's over.
I guess I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, the Zeeks still have the overwhelming advantage all across the continent, but they pulled out of this place so quickly, I really haven't figured out what to make of it. I've got a bad feeling about this.
I wonder what their abandoning this position will mean for the war in the long run, and for the possibility of any kind of peace process. Maybe it'll have no meaning at all.
And then there was that train. Do you think it was really just a troop transport, or could it have been something else?
The more I think about it, the more it really bugs me. Anyway, our mission's finally complete.
Yeah, we'll leave it to the guys upstairs to worry about the complicated stuff.
Lieutenant Vish, the train made it onto safe ground at last. The retreating trooping troops in the area had a little present waiting for us, called the burst liner. Are we going to use it?
Well, who can say? But bringing that thing was the reason for making us late for the scheduled rendezvous. The troops will face some kind of punishment. After all, you know, only a fool would throw his life away for glory. Besides that, there was that Fetty mobile suit team before. They were an extremely talented group of soldiers. It may be just a small team, but they had a lot of skill. And their commanders seemed pretty good too. The battles to come should be very fun.
Proud of all of you. Great job at Alice Springs, my dingoes. I don't know how you did it, but you captured a crucial strategic position ahead of the main force. Just what I'd expect from BB Signature members. So far, it's clear from the intelligence you've gathered after what's happened at Alice Springs that the enemy's making a concerted effort to retreat. However, we still cannot say if Zeon troops are planning to retreat fully from this continent. Taking the cities of Darwin in the north and Adelaide in the south will be extremely difficult. As we face step, resistance from the enemy, and all fronts of each city. Currently, our main Red Possum force is being split into two parts, each of which will now turn towards the continent's northern and southern regions to act as reinforcements. Through your actions, we've been able to bring a great level of force to bear against these two polarized positions. From here on in, our attack plan should run smoothly. However, we have intelligence that's just come in which seems to indicate that a Gao assault carrier is flying out of Darwin base to the north. We don't know the exact reason for this action, but its projected flight path shows a high probability that it'll pass over the Red Possum Division, which is headed south toward Adelaide. The repercussions could be devastating, true. If we let things stand, there's a possibility that our reinforcements headed for Adelaide will be attacked. You people are to scramble immediately. The plan is for you to intercept that flight at Simpson's Gap at all costs. To help you take down that Gao, we'll be issuing you the latest beam rifles for this dangerous mission. If you manage to hit its engines with one of these babies, even a Gao can't stay in the air for very long. I have every confidence you'll pull this off.
Lieutenant, as far as our radar scanners can tell, that Gao assault carrier is still on its projected flight path.
So it appears to be going after that Red Possum Division.
We don't know that for sure, do we? I guess we're going to have to attack it either way.
Lieutenant, let's hurry.
Hey there, Lieutenant Rhea. You've finally been given full authorization to use a prototype beam rifle for this mission. These things can be difficult to use, so get some practice and use it efficiently. And if you really want to down a Gao, I'd say you probably need to use a rifle or at least a cannon. When involved in a ground, the standard issue Federal Forces shield. Very durable, and it provides excellent coverage. So you're taking it? Lieutenant Rhea, is this the unit and the equipment you want? So you're taking this? Is that all you want, Ensign Mike? So you're taking it? Okay, how do you want it to... So you're taking... Okay, how do you want it equipped? This is the basic weapon for land war use. One shot doesn't pack much of a punch, but it's effective at full auto. Here it is. With this prototype precisely engineered to run off of a GM's internal generator and an external generator, you end up with a very temperamental weapon. The main appeal of this thing is the blast effect and All right, now that you've finished equipping your suit...
Lieutenant, as you well know, while this was originally an area of extremely steep cliffs, natural erosion, as well as the enormous destruction brought on by the colony drop, has turned it into an almost endless natural labyrinth. Navigation can be treacherous. When you add in the decreased visibility all the mist causes, you should check in with Oasis before you make plans to move anywhere.
We'll be counting on you, Anita.
Anyway, get over to the Gauss projected flight path at once.
This crappy visibility increases the danger of us accidentally shooting each other, so be careful.
Whoa! Hold on! Those are... What are they doing here? Lieutenant! It's the enemy! It appears we have enemy ground forces clinging all around us.
Gee, that was quick. Would you pay attention, Anita?
They were hiding here the whole time, waiting to ambush us! How was I supposed to know that? Fang 1, you call the shots from here on! We still have some time before that Gao gets here. Let's take care of these guys and get moving so we can carry out our attack on it and get this over with.
Oh, man, as if this job wasn't hard enough. I'd better get a bonus for this.
Fang 2, roger.
Fang 3, roger that.
Fang 1, don't get so far ahead of us!
Prepare for mobile suit drop. Hatch open. Drop!
Lieutenant, the gal's airdropping mobile suits.
Escort Squadron. Lieutenant, the Gal has been detected entering the battle zone. Prepare to intercept it. Damn it! It's the Gal! They began a roll-shift bombing run. All units get out of its flight path right now! All units fall back!
Proud of all of you. So,
Lieutenant, Lieutenant, as you well know, while this...
We still have some time before that Gal gets here. Let's take care of these guys and get moving so we can carry out our attack on it and get this over with.
Oh, man, as if this job wasn't hard enough. I'd better get a bonus for this.
Don't get so far ahead of us! Bank 1, enemy mobile suit destroyed! Wait!
roger. Fang 3, roger that.
Prepare for mobile suit drop. Hatch open.
Fang 2, roger. Fang 2.
Allied reinforcements have arrived. Now engaging the Gao's Jump Escort Squadron. Lieutenant, the Gao has been detected entering the battle zone. Prepare to intercept it. Damn it! It's the Gao! They began a roll-shift bombing run. All units get out of its flight path right now! Destroyed! That was really close. Confirm direct hit. Continue the attack at once. Confirm direct hit. There's no doubt. We'll shoot them all down at this rate. Fang 2, you're taking a lot of damage. Be careful.
I know that. I can still do this.
Fang 2, enemy mobile suit destroyed. Looking good.
Fang 2, roger. Fang 3, roger that.
Fang 1, I'm afraid the Gao has somehow managed to make it out of our primary attack range. The missions have failed. The enemy forces to the north of us look fairly weak now. Let's pull out of the battle zone and go home.
This is Fang 2. Question, Lieutenant. I know it's not in the mission, but for now, shouldn't we take care of those unknown forces in the area? Fang 2, roger.
Bank 1, enemy mobile suit destroyed. Way to go, Lieutenant!
Fang 2, roger.
Fang 3, roger that.
Enemy destroyed! The battle's over!
Still, why did they put this much force into a strategically worthless area like this? When you take the retreat from the last position into account as well as this, it just doesn't fit at all.
Hey, the enemy have their own complicated reasoning, right? Phew, man, I'm wiped out. Lieutenant, let's go home.
I have a new mission for you, white dingoes. The Darwin attack force on our northern continent, Green Icodona, has joined with the Red Possum unit to engage the enemy with every form of artillery available. However, while our southern continent attack force, Yellow Quacker, is linked up with the other Red Possum unit, they are encountering much fiercer opposition than previously anticipated. This division is scheduled to attack the enemy stronghold at Melbourne in the extreme south of the continent after it's taken Adelaide. You are to provide reinforcement for the Southern Continental Division as soon as possible. There's a Xeon-controlled small-scale mining operation in the suburb of Carrington to the north of the city of Adelaide. The occupation force there is fairly small, but there's a possibility that if the battle for Adelaide drags on, they'll be brought in as backup to surprise attack our forces from the rear. This could prove devastating. Your mission will be to destroy the mine's occupation force and then link up with the southern attack forces there waiting for you. By then, Adelaide will have fallen into our hands. We currently are dispatch new model modules operations in Adelaide to coincide with our taking the base there. If your timing's good, you may be able to get some for yourselves after this operation's come to a successful conclusion. I expect nothing less than victory, people.
Lieutenant Rayer, I can't believe they canceled Jacqueline's show yesterday. I'm just in shock over it.
Oh, Mike. Are you still listening to that ridiculous show? I don't see what's so appealing about that selfish woman.
Well, she isn't as cynical as you are.
What was that, Mike? What'd you just say to me? Oh yeah. Never mind that. Time for the news.
And after a fierce battle, the Earth's federal forces were able to easily sweep away the main Xeon forces defending their military base. It's doubtful a
Wait,
baby ant
fierce
would have managed
fight
to
and then
escape
an
the
easy
assault.
sweep.
On
Doesn't
this
that
day,
sound strange
December
to you?
15th, the Xeon Earth Occupation Force's largest stronghold, California base, was returned to its rightful owners within the Federation. With other Xeon units pulling out in other places, the victory of the Earth Federal Forces is now a certainty. The day when true peace will return to the territory is now close at hand.
Maybe they're exaggerating just a little. Anyway, looks like our brave forces are winning and driving out the remaining enemy forces. That's great. Let's keep up the good work.